All right. Hey, what's up? This video shouldn't be too long because I'm just going to be talking about HTML escaping. So, when returning HTML, the default response type in Flask, any user provided values rendered in the output must be escaped to protect from injection attacks. HTML templates are rendered with Jenga, introduced later, will do this automatically. When returning HTML, the default response type in Flash. So whenever you use the return statement and you return whatever, so the H1 or just some text, the default response type is HTML. Any user provided values rendered in the output must be escaped to protect from injection attacks. So if you don't know what injection attacks are pretty much when someone enters code or they run code somewhere they're not supposed to. So you have SQL injection, that's when someone puts code in your database or they run code in your database and do something malicious, delete, update, whatever the case may be. And you also have XSS attacks. XSS attacks is when someone runs HTML or JavaScript in another user's browser. So the way we're going to go about preventing that is using this escape function. HTML templates rendered with Jenga, I believe this is pronounced, introduced later will do this automatically. So pretty much we're going to get into building templates and all of that nature. So when we get into that, we'll get more into this, but pretty much what they're saying is the templates already help protect from injection attacks. Escape or the escape function shown here can be used manually. It is omitted in most examples for brevity, but you should always be aware of how you're using untrusted data. So whenever you get data from a user, you escape what they put in and turn it into plain text by using this escape function. As you can see here, the name is passed through with the URL, we get the name with the function, and then we escape whatever it is they put in to render it as plain text and not code or something. So if a user managed to submit the name script alert bad, escaping causes it to be rendered as text rather than running the script in the user's browser. So this is an XSS attack when you're able to run scripts in another user's browser. And this is what we're trying to prevent, of course. Name or the name variable in the root captures a value from the URL and passes it to the view function, which is what I just said. These variable rules are explained below. And that is when I get into routing and variable rules. So what it comes to, or when it comes to naming variables in the URL, how you do so in the rules that apply to it. Okay, so that's pretty much it with HTML escaping. I'm going to introduce going into the database after we do, or after we learn about the request object, because that's how we get information from user input. So after we get the information, or after we get information from the user input, then I'm going to show you how to work with the database so that way you know how to add it or where to put the information. So till then.